Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's a Sunday morning. I'm not on my day off. I'm still working today and I'm in my gown despite the fact that it's very hot outside, but I don't know, it just feels cold today in my house. It will warm up soon. I'm working Arvo today. It's my last afternoon shift. I had a whole week of afternoon shifts and yeah, tomorrow I'm off just for one day. And I'm planning to put out my Christmas tree. I can see that most of my friends on Facebook and Instagram have put out the Christmas trees already, like, so I'm the latest one. Yeah, so I want to do my Christmas tree tomorrow, do some other decorations and stuff. My older son got a job yesterday, which was pretty cool. So I have made a resume for him. Okay, I have just designed it, organized it, put it together for him, and then I printed it out. I took him with me on one of the days when he came from school. We went to the local cafes and we took the resume with us, and I thought, like, I'll just go with him. So he's turning 15 in about a week time, and I thought I'll go with him just to make him feel a little bit more confident. Yeah, so we went to a couple of cafes and there's a new Italian one opened just not too far from our house, and he got a job. So I spoke to the lady, you know, and she was like, yeah, we're hiring, you know. He had a trial yesterday for 2 hours and he came back and he said that he was accepted. So he will be working Friday, Saturday and Sunday evenings. They will clarify a little bit more his hours, how many hours exactly he's going to do, but I think he said like 6 hours or so at evenings. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy actually. So I need to buy him a bike now. They have scooters. Two of my boys, they have scooters. So I'm thinking to go tomorrow morning, buy them bikes, and then when I come back I will do some Christmas decor. I'll try to film for you guys how I'm going to decorate my house. I usually like to play carols, Christmas carols when I'm doing that to put me in the mood. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun day. My roster looks so busy this next 2 months for November and December. It's like ridiculously busy. I'm on a 0.8 shifts whole November till I think first week of December, and then I'm going again to 7 shifts as my contract for December. And in nursing field you don't have breaks, like you work through the holidays. You especially work through the holidays because somebody has to work, unless you take a rec leave and you know, like, do it in advance, because taking leave on Christmas and New Year holidays is very hard. You have to literally apply for it like a year in advance for the next year. I didn't do it this year because I thought that's okay. Like, I took 2 weeks recently because I wasn't really coping much with the situation with my kids, you know, and everything. I was going through a lot for the past half a year since they started living fully with me. So like, I felt like the stress was building up slowly, you know, and I needed to take a leave, and I applied for a leave I think after they have lived with me for 4 months, but my NAM only approved my leave to start 1.5 months later. So I had my 2 weeks and I couldn't apply for another leave throughout the holidays now because I just had it recently. So my next leave probably will be sometime after another 4 months or so. Yeah, so I will be working, but in a Queensland health system we have something like every roster before it comes out, your NAM, well, my NAM, will give us opportunity to cross out 4 days a month of the days that we don't want to work on, okay? But when it comes to Christmas and New Year holidays, you need to at least work one. So if you crossing out, let's say 25th, which is the main holiday, like actual Christmas, then you have to at least work on 31st, which is a New Year Eve. Because somebody has to do those 2 days. So this is first time this year in the last, how many years I've been working already in healthcare? Nearly five plus. First time during all this time I have cancelled my Christmas day. So I put myself off. I put myself off on 24th and 25th, and I'm working on 31st of December, which is a New Year's Eve. yeah, but this is the first time I'm actually not working for Christmas. And my partner, he's Brazilian, so they love to celebrate Christmas Eve more than Christmas itself. That's just part of the culture. So we will be going to Gold Coast to see his dad, to see his auntie and uncle. His dad and his mom is in Rio, in Brazil. But yeah, so we'll go to see his relatives, his cousins and stuff. And I thought, okay, like last year we've done the same, and it was so hard for me to come back to work. So I was like, he said to me, why don't you just cancel 25th as well? So if you work for Queensland Health, just a bit of information for you guys. If you do cancel your Christmas Day on 25th of December, you will still get paid your base rate, okay? So whatever is your base rate, you're gonna be paid for that day, even if you're not working, which is super cool. Okay, it's not very big money because like Christmas itself, it's a triple pay. If you do work on Christmas, it's a triple pay, but then the tax takes it all because you're not just working Christmas, you work in like other days prior to Christmas Day and after, because like it's a fortnight roster, right? So adding that triple pay of one day, and if you, let's say, worked on 24th, I think it's a double or 1.5, like you can easily make up to like 4,000, 5,000 a fortnight, which I was making in the past couple of years. But then the tax is just taking so much of that as well. I think I've made once like nearly 5k in aged care, I remember, but I've worked like 24th, 25th, 27th, 26th, then 27 was fallen onto Monday, which was 1.5 paid as well, and then I was working 31st as well. Like I made big money, but the tax took so much of it. I was able to bring it back then on my tax return, but now I have hacks. So I don't see the tax returns anymore because my hacks repayments take it all until I pay it off. I think it's 16,000 left for me to pay off of my hacks. So I'm like so patiently waiting when it's finished. Yeah, so that's about it. Today I was filming for you guys on Instagram, for those of you who follow me on Instagram. If you don't yet, here is my name of my Instagram account. I will also link for you the actual link in a description box below to my account. I was filming for you guys this product here. It's a Eternal Jellyfish Complex by Skin Therapy. It's a brand made in New Zealand, and I wanted to try products with jellyfish ingredients in it. I know that Korean products have a lot of jellyfish in it and stuff, and I wanted to try it. They also have like snails and stuff. Yeah, so that was my first time. I can put for you here a small video to show you how it was for me, my experience. But I really like this product. I bought it in TK Maxx. I love to buy skincare products in TK Maxx because they are cheaper there. So if you go to Chemist Warehouse or to the official website of Skin Therapy brand, you will find the prices like nearly as twice higher than if you would find the same product in TK Maxx. So yeah, you know, I love to shop in TK Maxx. It's cheaper. I buy my shampoos in there, all my serums in there, everything skincare wise, I buy it from there. I wanted to answer a couple of questions for you guys in this video. It's not gonna be like a Q&A video, it's just like a me talking video to you guys. I feel like talking today. I want to bring out a couple of questions from my subscribers, and I think it will be useful for everyone to hear. So one of my subscribers, he has asked, I was told that hospitals require nurses to have at least 1 year of experience before they will consider to hire you. Is that true? And he had a second question about HK as well. So the first question I want to answer first. Yes, it is true. The hospitals would prefer someone to have at least 1 year of experience. The reason to that is safety and time management, basically. They just want to see and know that at some point you have practiced safety while you're working somewhere, gaining that experience of 1 year. whether it's a community services or aged care or GP clinic, whatever, as long as you have practiced to be safe administering medications, to be safe when you're doing assessments, to be safe when you're doing dressing changes and all of that. That's what they want to know and hear from you. And also time management, because if you would have 1 year of experience elsewhere, you would definitely practice time management. You will know somehow the routine, you will know your tasks and responsibilities throughout the shift, which will develop as well the time management skills, because you would plan ahead what you need to finish throughout your shift and how to achieve your goals by the end of the shift before you go home. So yeah, so if you want to go to aged care, community services, GP clinic, medical centers, do it, apply. It's easy to get a job in aged care. So the second question that the person is asked, you know, he said, if so, would you recommend getting experience in aged care first? This is what I've done for myself. I went to aged care, but for me it was a little bit different. Back then when I started my aged care experience, I wasn't a nurse yet. I was just doing my EN, Diploma of Enrolled Nursing, and after first placement I went and I applied for a AN position or a carer position at aged care. So I didn't have yet my diploma in hands, I was still studying. And yeah, I continued working as a carer in aged care throughout my whole diploma until I got graduated. I've got my license for EN. Look, for me, aged care was the easiest sector to get into. Okay, the interview was a little bit hard, but I mean, like, it's okay, not too bad. The job was well paid because I personally was always staying as a casual employee throughout my whole studying process. Okay, I never went permanent, and because I was staying casual, my rate was quite high. Okay, if you would go through agencies as an AN, if you want to apply for a position as AN or a carer through the agency, nursing agency, then your rate will be even higher than the casual rate if you directly employed to the aged care facility that you're working in, you know. So if you go through the agency, nursing agency, they will be offering you shifts in different aged cares, communities, not necessarily at the hospital, because hospitals, they still prefer experienced AANs. But once you start to build your experience, then you can pick up shifts in hospitals as well, especially if it's a CPO in someone, like one-on-one cares. If someone is high false risk patient, confused, whatever, you can come for a night shift and just like sitting with that person, making sure that they don't get out of bed if their mobility compromised, or you assist them to go to toilet, making sure that that person doesn't fall or doesn't wander throughout the wards while the rest of the nurses are busy, you know, not going out of the ward and things like that. So you may have shifts like that. They're easy, but they're well paid, because you will have your agency rate, you will have your night load, they're perfect. So yeah, for me, I stayed in aged care. I didn't go through agency at all. It was enough for me. I was always casual, and it was a beautiful rate. It was enough for me to save money before my placements would start, so I could pay my bills still while I'm on the placement, because obviously I needed to stop working for the duration of placement. Yeah, I've heard some people now, nurses especially on TikTok, trying to push through the idea of making nursing placements paid, at least like a half rate, hourly rate of a normal, let's say, grade 5 nurse who just starting to work as a licensed nurse. So they were pushing through this idea, at least pay students half of their rate per hour, so that when they're doing their placements, and you know, placements go for a long time, they go like from 3 weeks to 4 weeks, you know, we have to still pay our bills. A lot of people still rent. I still rent, I still pay my rent. I don't own the place, but even if I would be owning the place, I still have to pay the mortgage. So the bills, they don't disappear. So we have to pay like rent, mortgage, whatever, petrol to get to the hospital, because eventually they can send you anywhere in about an hour or 2 hour radius, you know, to the hospital placements. So you may be lucky to get the placement in a hospital that is near to your area where you live, or you might be traveling like nearly an hour. Like I had my placements in Royal Brisbane Hospital. That would take me like hour and 20 minutes to get back from the hospital to my house, and it was ridiculous. So you have to pay petrol, you have to pay for your food, and you have to pay for parking. Where are we getting this money from? Like seriously. So you have to save in advance big time, and you have like placements every single semester. So they're pushing through at least for students to get at least like a half hourly pay, you know. And yeah, and the people, the heads, whatever you call them in the positions in the government, they were like saying, oh no, but they're not qualified yet, you know, they're not qualified, they're not fully practicing yet, they're relying on the body nurse to teach them, da 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 da. If we start to pay them, it's gonna put more responsibility on them, and they can't have that responsibility because they're still students. But I mean, like, I don't think it's right, okay? Students still carry some sort of responsibility when they take a patient load. Yes, they still work under supervision of a body nurse, obviously, but they're still responsible of being safe, right? They're still responsible of carrying the tasks and plan things that they need to accomplish throughout their shift when they take a load. Especially if you're a last year student, if you're in a year 3, you will be taking in your last internship, not internship, yeah, I think it's called internship now, placement, which is like 6 to 8 weeks duration of time. You will be still taking load of nearly 3 to 4 patients, because you need to practice, and your facilitators, your uni will ask you to practice as if you would be on a floor now as a registered, fully qualified nurse. Yes, you would have your body nurse still shadowing you and helping you and stuff, but you will be taking initiative to complete all the tasks that you need for that particular patient or patients that you're taking, you know. So it's still responsibility. It's a big responsibility. And in my opinion, like, help those students financially so they would come to work not stressed, thinking that the petrol cost that I've paid today for my car, I still have to pay parking, you know, every single day. And parking around the hospitals, it's very expensive. Usually all the streets near the hospitals, they're all metered. And if you choose to use a parking that belongs to the hospital, it's like my hospital, we pay $13 a day. Then Royal is so expensive. I think it's like 31 or 34 a day, which is ridiculous. And that was like nearly 2 years ago when I had my placement there. Maybe the prices are even changed now. You know, even the metered streets, they're still expensive. So like, can you imagine how much of stress every student carry every day, thinking about their bills and the money that they have to pay? They have to obviously stop working for the duration of their placement as well, because placement go from Monday to Friday every single week, okay, for 4 weeks. If you go and pick up casual shifts at your aged care or community services, whatever you are working as AN while you're doing your degree, or if you do any other field job, whatever, if you go and pick up those shifts on a weekend to get a little bit more money, that means that you won't be resting at all, because from Monday you have to go back to your placement, and your placement is 8 hours. It's like a full-on work. It's just unpaid work. So if you do that, if you work on a weekend and going back for a full week of placement throughout the whole month, you're gonna be dead by the end, and your mind will start get foggy because you're not resting enough, and you might do some mistakes and be expelled out of your placement, which happens a lot actually, which does happen a lot. On my ward, we had so yesterday, what was yesterday? No, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, on Friday, we had one student left. I'm not gonna say which university it is, but we had one student left, and that's my cat scratching the door. We had one student left out of 3, so they had 4 weeks on our ward, and on the 3rd week, one of the students out of this 3 was expelled of the placement because that student went and paused the pump. So the student's not allowed to touch the pumps. If any IV medication is running through the pump, and let's say there is occlusion, you know, if the patient, you know, bend their arm, whatever, if there is a bubble, air bubble in the line, whatever happened, if the cannula got tissued somehow, maybe the patient pulled out halfway cannula out. If you hear as a student that the pump is beeping, you don't touch it. That's one of the rules that all your facilitators would tell you. Do not touch the pumps. If that happens, go call your nurse or any nurse on a ward, and they will deal with it, okay? They will check the site, they will deal with it. You don't touch it. So she silenced it, okay? She paused it, she put it on a standby, I think. She didn't silence it, she put it on a standby. And yeah, she was kicked out from the placement for a silly mistake like that. And then the other student, I can't remember what was the reason for the other student. I think it was a medication, something to do with the medication. Can't remember exactly. Anyway, that student was kicked out as well on a 3rd week. Like, can you imagine? And they were year 3 students. It's not a final semester yet, but it's sad. It's very sad. So it was only 1 student left, okay? Was only 1 left out of 3, so the other 2 now need to wait and repeat the whole placement again whenever it becomes available. It could be next year, because you have to wait until they get your placement again to go and redo it, and you have to pay for it, obviously. Yeah, so it's really sad in my opinion. But I mean, like, as a student, you always get told by your facilitators what to do and what not to do. So it's in your best interests to adhere to that. But for as silly as a small mistake like silencing or pausing the pump, you can be kicked out, which is sad. Anyway, so that was the question from one of the subscribers. I had a couple of more questions, but I think I will bring it out as a separate video for you guys. I have also filmed for you a video talking about advantages of having your work experience in aged care while you're studying, whether you're doing Diploma of General Nursing or whether you're doing your Bachelor of Nursing Science. I have talked in that video about all advantages that I could think of and the ones that I've gained for myself when I was practicing as AAN while still studying, and why it's important to take that opportunity if you can. If you, for example, have someone looking after your kids and you're able to do full-time study and work, pick up at least maybe like 2-3 shifts a week is enough. So I will edit that video and I will upload it for you guys. I think it's an important video for you to know, because a lot of people ask about experience, gaining experience and taking decision of doing your job, your AAN practice at HK while studying. So I wanted to bring up why it is important, if you can, to do that. Yeah, so I will upload that one soon, and I will do another Q&A video for you guys as well, bringing all the questions that I have now underneath my video in a section comments. I have about 7 questions now from you guys, so I will do like a separate Q&A video for you and I will answer them all today. I just wanted to talk with you guys. I'm in a chatting mood. And yeah, I will go sleep soon because I'm still tired. I'm kind of like thinking about watching something on Netflix, maybe Ocean's 11. I have watched recently Ocean's 8 and I love Sandra Bullock in it, like especially that episode when she went to the cosmetics shop and she got some like perfumes and some, I think it was like a skincare products and stuff, and then the way she stole it, she wanted to return it, if you remember that episode, and the lady on the checkout, she was like, no, you have to show me the receipt, and she was like, I don't have the receipt, it's unopened, and she was like, oh, you can go to like a return in level 6, and she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take it, and she took it for free. It was so cute, it was so funny. I've watched Ocean's 11 and now I want to watch, sorry, I watched Ocean's 8 and now I want to watch Ocean's 11. So I'm kind of like thinking, should I watch it now or should I go sleep? Because I know I will be really tired today. Yesterday it was very hectic shift. I had ICU step down patient as one of my patients. I had 4 patients yesterday. One of them was stepped down from ICU. The patient was full on. It was an ileostomy care, it was a urinary care, it was and YouTube. The patient had med calls, so she was in a surgical ward beside our ward. Then she had a med calls for seizures. Then she went to ICU, stayed there for 2 days, and then came back to us. And yes, and it was hectic. It was a full-on hectic shift. I needed to monitor her for seizures and stuff. She has a history of epilepsy. Yeah, like I did not sit down to do my notes up until 9:30 at night. And the handover starts from 10:30. Like everyone should come at 10:45, but most of the people come at 10:30, so we could start a little bit earlier. And I was doing my notes like 9:30, and I still had things to give to patients, you know, and review some of the things that I've PFM'd for the doctors to come and see. It was like, I don't know, I didn't sit down until 9:30 to do my notes, and I was still getting up to go and do things. It was such a heavy, hectic shift. So I hope today I will have a different load and it will be better. And then tomorrow we'll have my rest. Yeah, so I'm pretty tired. I want to sleep. If I sleep usually before my afternoon shifts, I sleep from 11 till 12:30. Then I get up and prep myself to work, and I have to leave like 1:30 to be at work at 2:30. Yeah, so like my time is so freaking planned before I go to the shift. It's like everything is like hour by hour, you know. Oh my gosh, it's like a life on a routine, on a plan. You know how you have your planner throughout the shift? Yeah, that's my life at home. Anyways, so I will go and see what I'm gonna do, watch a movie a little bit until I fall asleep, or just go straight to sleep, and I will see you in my next videos. Thank you guys for all the support that you give me in your comments under my videos, understanding as well my situation and showing me empathy. I really appreciate that. I have really good community of subscribers on my channel, and I'm proud of it so much. So thank you for that. And if you want to know anything at all about my work, about my life, feel free to ask me in a comment section below, or send me your questions to my DM on Instagram. The link to my Instagram account will be linked in the description as well. Send me there if you want. Watch my stories there as well, because I show more life on my Instagram stories. It's easier for me that way. Yeah, and I'll see you in my next videos.